Hi everyone, the first DIY will start with this white yarn that I picked up from Dollar Tree. I did measure 5 long pieces to a foot long. And then I'm going to fold them in half and then cut that in half. And then I'm going to make each one into an individual tassel. I cut off an extra piece of string to tie the top of the tassel. And to help keep it in place, I am going to clamp down the top of it with one of the craft clamps from Dollar Tree. After I tie it off, I will cut off the excess. And then using a fine-tooth comb, I'm going to comb it out until all of the little twists disappear and it's nice and fluffy. You could also use a wire brush if you have a wire brush. And then I'm going to trim it so that it is all the same length. And that's what it looks like, and I'm going to go ahead and do one more. This is the 4th of my Christmas in July video series. If you would like to watch the first 3, just visit the description box below. I will have them linked for you there. For this DIY, I'll be using 2 of these Heidi Swap faux wood palettes, and I am going to glue them together. I added an additional bit of glue along the back. And now using 2 of the tumbling game wood pieces, I will be adding one at the top and one at the bottom, one to hang it from and the other one to make it level with the wall, so when I hang it up it doesn't hang at a slant. Using antique white, I am going to paint the faux wood palettes. I thought a lot about leaving it in this color, but it's just something about it that's not quite right to me. I thought about going darker and I decided against that. So I thought the antique white was a good compromise between going really dark and leaving it in this shade. And I wanted something that the white tassels would pop off of. Using the stem from this Dollar Tree succulent, I'm going to paint it in burnt umber acrylic paint. And now I'm going to line up the tassels to form a little fluffy Christmas tree. You can make this as large as you want depending on the sign that you have. You would just have to make more tassels. Once I have them laid the way that I want them to be, I just lift up the top of the tassel, lay down a bead of hot glue so I can be sure that it is in the place where I want it to be, and I also hot glue down the stem. And that's what our little fluffy tree looks like. Now I'm going to take some of the black yarn. This is yarn that I picked up from Dollar Tree. And I basically did the same thing that I did to form the tassels in the first project, but instead of folding it over and cutting it, I folded it over and made a tassel out of it. This little plastic cone from Dollar Tree gave out really quickly, so I reverted back to my trusty pet slicker brush, and this did a much better job. And I'm going to go ahead and cut it even and then move on to the white tassel, or ballerina, I should say. If you come across any knots, try to take them out with your hand instead of with the brush, because it will end up pulling out a lot of yarn and the ballerina skirt will end up looking uneven. Taking 2 of the large skewers from Dollar Tree, I'm going to measure how long I want the legs to be on the ballerina, and then I'm going to cut them down to size and then hot glue them together. I'm going to use some of these split wood beads for the heads. You can use all kinds of beads, whatever beads that you have actually will work. I'm just measuring out which size of the beads I want to use, and I did end up using the largest size. I will link these for you in the description box below. I did get them from Amazon. Dollar Tree has these smaller wood beads, and you can make smaller ballerinas if you would like to. Now, using burnt umber and trail tan, I'm going to paint the faces and the legs of the ballerinas. To make it easy to paint the faces, I added a little dot of hot glue to craft sticks, and this allowed me to be able to paint them without getting my fingerprints all over them, and they peeled off very easily after they dried. Now, using this Waverly Paint and Blossom, I'm going to take a small paintbrush and begin to paint little ballet slippers on the legs of the ballerinas. This is going to be the front. Then I tried to draw little hashtag marks across the front to represent the slippers being tied. And then I did the same for the other set. Now I'm going to open up the skirt into the middle, find the center of the tassel, I keep calling it a tassel, of the little ballet dress. And then I'm going to add some hot glue to the top of the legs all the way around and at the top. Then I'm going to place it into the center of the ballerina dress and then fold the rest of the skirt down over it. I took an extra piece of the yarn and I separated it until it was a single thread, and then I looped it through the top loops of the ballerina top, or the top of the tassel. Now I'm going to add some hot glue to one of the split wood beads and place it right at the top. I then am going to add the second bead, making sure that it has good contact with the glue. And our first ballerina is complete. And now we'll do the exact same thing for the second one. For our next project, we'll be making a Christmas tree made out of Dollar Tree nautical rope. If this looks familiar, it's from my very first Christmas in July project. This leftover fabric is from my third Christmas in July project, and these are all leftovers that I was able to put together. And I'm going to hot glue what was a curtain for my Christmas window. If you remember, I initially cut it too short, so these are the short pieces that I cut, and now they fit perfectly around this box. If you would like to, you can fold it over into the inside of the box so you don't have so much excess at the bottom of the box. I took a little piece of floral foam and cut it in half. I then hot glued it into the center of the bottom of the box. This is a piece of the skewer that I use for the ballerinas, and I'm going to paint it in burnt umber. You don't have to paint the very bottom because it's going to go inside the floral foam. This is going to be the tree trunk for our rope Christmas tree. So just add a little bit of hot glue to the bottom and then push it right into the foam. I'm going to take some nautical rope from Dollar Tree. I ended up using about 1.5 packs of rope, and I cut it in these measurements: 3 pieces at 1 inch each, 10 pieces at 2 inches, 10 pieces at 3 inches, 12 pieces at 5 inches, and 12 pieces at 6 inches. If you find the 1 inch pieces too difficult to work with, you can just start at 2 inches and then work your way up from there. I filled the box with some of the yarn that I combed out from the tassels and the ballerina dresses. Now taking a piece of rope, I want to fray the end. And I put the gloves on because I didn't want to irritate my hands, but it turned out that fraying the ends wasn't as easy as rubbing it in between my hands, so I ended up again using the pet slicker brush to fray the ends. It's best to do this outside because little pieces of the rope go flying everywhere, and if you have allergies, it will probably bother you. So I would recommend doing this outside. So you just brush it until it's frayed the way that you want it to be. And then open it up and slide it down onto the skewer. And you will do this continuously in a crisscross fashion. First make an X, and then lay the ropes in the diagonal position until it makes sort of a star shape. And then continue laying the rope this way from longest sizes to smallest sizes until you are all the way at the top of the tree. These wood pieces are from puzzle games from Dollar Tree. I went ahead and drilled a hole in one of them to make it the star on top of the tree, and I did choose the blue star. And this is how the rope tree turned out. This tree is Pinterest inspired, and I am very happy with the way that it turned out. You would probably pay a lot more for this tree than it cost you to make it, and I think it's just simply beautiful. You can also add string lights to it if you would like to, but I think it stands on its own pretty well. Here are the rest of our projects. The fluffy tassel tree looks so cute, and you can change the color just by changing the color of the yarn that you're using. This would look beautiful in a blush pink for a pink Christmas tree, and you can even mix the colors. And just like the rope tree, you can make it as large as you would like to just by adding more tassels. Here are our ballerina ornaments. Very simple to make, beautiful. Of course, they would look better hanging on a tree, but I can't have all that glitter in my apartment right now. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, let me know by giving this video a thumbs up. Comment below on which one of these DIYs is your favorite, and let me know if you'll be recreating any of them. Thank you guys. I will see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.